Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to part 4 of building a street racetrack. Uh, let's see where we left off. Maybe we can use some boundaries outside here. Still have 25, 26 props. It's not a lot. It's good props. Finished here. Finished this one. It's all bounded. Cut the rails. It's all bounded. Gotta finish this off. That was here, I think. And here we gotta make something. Was it this one? No, it's this one. Come here, we have to go left here. Then go right here. 25 props, not a lot. Gonna have to be economical. And then what's the left here? Oh. Not a lot of props left. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we approach the turn here. It's all white. It's all white on left and right side and the back side of the turn. So I'm gonna have to change that. See if we can intervene right away here. Just give it a color here. I don't know what color scheme was used, but see, it's a lot better. Gives your brain the chance to judge the depth. There's the same problem. All you see is white. Oh, I just meant to do everything in white because you can change all the colors afterwards. See if I can. Black is maybe better. Maybe give it a red one. a fan of the red. So the dark is not good. You see, then you have just a black hole. You can't judge the depth of it. I want to go for something different, like blue or green maybe. Just gonna keep it on red for the moment. Start is gonna be here somewhere. Oh my god, what did I do here? Damn, it's the wall. That's good, there's only one prop, but that sucks. That's gonna take a few props to replace that and without going through the tunnel. I'd have to place it flat or something. See what we can do with that. It's coming in the tunnel too now. Can I get in there? It's not placed yet, right? I'd erase the prop. So can I do it again? Oh, it sank back in. Oh, I guess still got the degrees and all going, so that's good. And normally I never swap to the car if I got a floating piece in override position hanging, because you just lose the position. If this doesn't work, I have to go for a flat scheme like these plates. But then you have no edge. So the edge is forming the wall. Can still rotate it. If you only like do the position here, that's square is finked on here. So if you go to rotation, it's not elected yet. As long as rotation selected, you can use the rotation type, which gives you a more flexible and quick control of the whole. So the advanced override rotation is just to fine tune it all, which I'm probably gonna use now because I wanted to get a bit in rotation here. Probably do. Now I have to move up to the side. all the poles to be gone. Can rotate a bit more. So you just wanna get the edge of the road. Try to get the maximum. Pole has to be gone. We're gonna sink it even more. This pole is not gone. This is good. So it can just flow into the scheme here. If you go outside here, you just got some brake room, but if you go too far, you're off track. Would place a barrier, but I gotta be very economical now. So we got a wall here. Can be too low, so that if you hit it with the wheels that you go on it. So you gotta have a good edge until the moment that you have to steer in here. Because if drivers are driving like in the middle, they will make a left move to get to the outside of the turn to cut into the apex. And when they make the left move and they make a little arrow, they don't want to pop over the wall. So I'm gonna see how high we can bring it. As you see, I just looking for the edge of this one, just sink that in. Then we get a good wall going, cause like this is where you're gonna turn in. It's pretty good. I would turn it a little bit more towards this pole, but then this one's gonna show. Gonna get a gap here. This is like the limit of the side of the curb. Oh, well, let's hope it's not showing up in the tunnel, or at least it won't be too low. So yeah, gotta erase it. Gonna try a flat panel now. I hope. So we're gonna work with this. I'm just locking it in position. See now which rotation we gotta add here. A little bit more on the roll. Let's just get that there. Messing the height here. So level this of this rotation. So I took a 5-degree bended piece because it's going like downhill. Problem is it's gonna pop up in the middle or disappear on the edges. If I can't find a good equilibrium, I gotta use a straight piece or even more bend, but I think this is a good bend. If I rotate it more in the roll, it will get beneath the track in the middle. Like this. So it's like placing it vertical. If you place it vertical, you immediately have all the edges. But what I'm looking for here is getting the edges and getting it as flat as possible. That looks pretty good. That should be covered the hole there. So above is perfect. You don't really get it here, so just gonna level it and then place it a little bit higher. So what it does is come over the curbs. Get a little edge here. It's not too bad. Now instead of the wall, looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to use 2 props instead of the 1. And what this thing will do instead of the wall is that, like I said before, the driver's gonna look for the extreme outside to cut into the apex in the turn. So what they're probably gonna do is like get over the curb, so the range of the track now just extended right until here. So because I can't place a big panel to lock off the post, just gonna leave it like this. Which will open the track more, but it's don't want people to use the post. That was too late. This little kink in the turn here, just make sure that people get a good line without even having to approach the posts. So you get a little caboose here. And this is the point where you're gonna cut it. So everybody's responsibility to keep in the track then. See, the red is a lot better. It's very important if you make a track that every turn gets attention. You can give a certain section a lot of attention and certain sections a little bit less, but every turn has to have its own propping, its own detailing. If you just make one or two turns like greatly propped off with 70 props and you do one turn that has no props, your fucking whole track is ruined. Gotta lock that off, that's one prop. Now as I'm driving, I'm already checking out which props I might be able to erase just to save some props, just to get around the whole track. Great track though. Maybe some panels on the inside here. Along this way I gotta have them, because the battles come during the straight. Battles are coming, people gonna go left, right. There's no battle barriers in the town here. Like this one, like that one, that one. Right when you come onto the straight, it's not so important on the inside of the turn, because everybody will come out of the turn on the outside. So you can erase some props there. Love this section. Inside, outside, outside, gotta still prop it. That's 6 to 8 props minimum. Maybe do this you can. A lot of props. One big wall here. Got see which wall would work best. You see there's a little bit of curve in the street. Got a pretty good coverage here. Got a parallel horizontally. Just lock it down. Station, make sure it's 270. Oh no, this is the left-right axle now. Can't adjust that one anymore. It's turning and this is turning, so I had to do that manually. It's just gonna see how it pops. I have a big ramp here turning. Oh, light post showing. I'm gonna deselect the rotation. Then I have to get it back manually. Oh, I gotta rotate that thing too. The 5-degree angle of the track piece, it's not bending enough outward here. If I will rotate it more, it will come more inward here, so that's what I mean. If I go to 15 degrees angle, it's probably gonna be too much. So what I'm gonna do is place first this one. So I already know which one is gonna be. Very economical, one big piece. Try to get it right here. Gotta check the rotation. The walls to be 90s upright. So this one is can sink it a bit more now. Can keep it on 9. As long as this is, oh no, this is a rotation. One on 90 then. Sink it a bit more. So now I can just place a straight one here. It doesn't have to lock up, it just has to like reach this point here and cover all the poles. So I'm gonna try to get this air turn in here because I don't like this piece, it's too small. You got the light, the traffic signs here. I'm gonna see what the 15-degree probe does. So it's 5. I'm probably would have needed like 10 degrees. See where the most of the curve is on the street. You see, it's right here. Here is where the curve is. So I can just probably, it's best to place it here. Right now I can see that it's 90 degrees, so I'm gonna approach as much as I can without having to adjust a lot. I want to go out to the street, change my view a bit. Those means that in the front as well as in the back it has to be equally high as much as possible. Let's just block all the poles. So it's got to get behind that wall that probably just placed. This looks good. So the minimal is like something like this. If you take the minimal at the outside of the piece, the inside is going to get up a little more because there's a little dip in the road here. So as long as it's behind the turning piece here. Cuts back into the curb there. It's pretty good. Maybe I can, this pole has to be signalized. I'm gonna place that. I need an apex prop here. If I can do one would be great. So it's probably gonna be a tube. See what this does. I can't place it flat because you can place it flat if you have a lot of room between the post and the actual street, but now you really want to cut it as close to the pole as possible like this. So then the angle has to be here. Gotta leave as much of street open as possible. So what you want to avoid is this thing here, this knot, which gives the prop like a tiny edge. If you hit that with your lip, you get stuck. So what you can do is just, it's not 90 degrees, it's not 90 degrees. So what you can do is just rotate it till at the actual apex, which is right here. That there's no knot like that. So there's one at each 90-degree angle. So we'll keep it in the middle like that. So this is where you're gonna cut it. Maybe place it a little bit more. I don't want the spoilers or nothing to get caught in that pole. I want a little bit of height because it has to signalize the turn from down there. Inside, not so important here. Outside here is though. I don't like these two poles coming inward so much. So probably make a banded piece here. That's 2, 3, 4. It's gonna add up quickly. See what we can do here. Because I see the angle still too much for me. Now I'm gonna use 2 pieces to make it as wide here. So I'm gonna rotate this inside. So it comes outside up a bit. Just so if I place the inside copy of this prop, it's gonna overlap the curves in the middle. Now to get into this angle, but it's not really possible because I go deeper on this end of the corner, which gives this dimple here. So I can probably add another piece here to make this groove smoother. This turn is a bit too wide angle, right? Oh shit. Gonna see if this one is better. So again, the middle curves are gonna be hidden. See, so I gotta find angle to just clear those. A little bit more. That's it. Just a little bit showing, that's not so bad. I don't like that thing there. Give it more. Should have given that outside one a little bit more curve. Damn it. Now I need to add a bit here again. It's no big deal. looks good. See if I can. Just be happy with it. So this wall ends here. Drivers will already have to be here to cut it in. So I have to place an apex prop here. Tube. So I'm truly looking for functionality now on the inside apex prop, but I wanted to cover a bit of distance too. So it's good that it's blocking off this edges here. What not good is that it's damping in here and there. By pulling it in front of this hatch here, I'm already seeing it in the red color, so what that will do is signify the apex. Still gives an open pole though. People definitely want to cut it right next to the hatch here. So. See what it does. I'm just gonna try the tube now. Again, no knots, so this knot is right out of the way of the apex. Is actually here. It's pretty good. have to put it a little bit higher. There's a little thing sticking out still. Still another prop coming here, 2 props for this angle. Don't want it to get in the garden of the bean coffee shop thing. I'm gonna bring it forward a little bit more. So now it just leans onto the wall there. Looks like it just added for safety. Now I can see how it looks if I erase that one. It's not bad. Looks better if it's covered. I probably can't do all the walls here. It should be like this. And the other straight bit. So that would take 3 props again. 3 props, that's 18 left. Probably not gonna get there. So I used 3 props for this piece. Just came to me that I might be able to do it with only 1, which is this big turn. I'm just gonna see. Just gonna see what it will do. Because with the 3 props you can adjust the width of the track and the whole camber of the turn, which this piece is just one solid turn. If I can use this one, except for 3 extras to fill up the angle cab there. So it's not lining up here really. You need the overlapping props here, so that won't be a problem. All it has to do is line the curbs up with the actual curbs of the street here. Like that. It's a nice lineup. I'm gonna probably have to opt for this just to save some props. See what it does in this rotation a little bit more that way. Can I bring it more? What I'm looking at is that the outside curve of this prop is not too far off this one, so I can still link it with 1 prop outside here, 1 prop inside. That is gonna make this little dip disappear. But if it goes too wide outside, it becomes too hard to link the two. I can't push the turn prop more to the right because it's gonna disappear here in the red prop. I want the white line just to go next to it. So now I'm considering if I place this one, can I still erase the other ones? Otherwise I just lose another prop. I think I can, so we can just try that. There's one more. I didn't erase it just to be sure. No, just place it somewhere else and erase it. So I just won 2 pieces. Which I'm gonna use here. Now the important thing is to line up the lines and just even out the tip there. So again, I want to camber to the left, so the other prop here is gonna overlap the little curve in the middle. So I'm looking for something like this, so it's just a smoother transition to the uphill here. Here it's still pretty good. Don't want it to stick out, obviously. So maybe a little bit more, and then I can sink it, just like that. Looks pretty good. See if we do some more angle. So what you're actually looking for is that the angle from this part to that part, this little line, the angle is somewhat the same as this one. Then you have the right equilibrium between 2 parts. I'll bring it into place. That's nice. I think this is a bit too high here. This can be a problem. Again, white line here, white line there. See what I can do now. This piece may be too small. Try to use this one. That's good. Now the camber. Too much. Something like that. See, I need more angle here. So that's what I meant when I said that this line can be too far of that one. It becomes too hard to link them both. What's probably gonna happen is that I'm gonna use an extra piece. Because I like the angle it has now here. Still is a little dimple, but it's a smaller angle than this one, so if I overlap this one, it will be good. That looks good. Nice. Fuck these walls, it sucks so bad. Damn it, damn. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That's not what I want. Fuck. Maybe it's better if I use the RAM, which don't have the issue when you bounce off them. Is it big enough? Nice. see the bulb, the rounded angle is just too sharp. It's coming too much to the inside. Sucks. So what I do is try to keep it on 180, so it's 90 degrees. And the other one too, so this the previous prop was turned a little bit angled. So we'll see if it still pops the car off. If it does that, I really just need to erase it. So get it as close to the poles as possible again. I could do this. Because this prop is just blocking off the poles here. Doesn't matter that it links up, it's just nicer if it links up. Just gonna go for safe to see if it works too. Oh, that pole is not so important, people never gonna hit that. Just gonna see what it does here. Yeah, if you notice something like that, you have to change it right away. No problem. Lovely. Test the walls. Good prop. too far. Before I forget, I'm gonna block off the little opening behind the chicane here. This one. I'm thinking about what shape it should be. Should it be, can it be a straight plate, like an add sign, or does it have to be rounded off? Does it have to be like angled at a banking so you jump over? So I'm counting on this piece. This piece will just lock in, it will just move up if you hit it. So I'm just gonna use that, which means that a straight plate would be fine. I'm gonna check it out with the car again. So there's a little extra outside, I like that. Gives a more natural look. So I want the room to be available till here. If you hit that, you can still get along. And it's gonna happen, don't worry. So if this has to be open, I could link it up to this barrier. So just link it up here. And let it continue to attach to that part. What you then have is you make this outside smaller. Wider is always better, especially for super races. So if you come here, I would have hit it already. I don't want that, so I'm gonna just probably place a straight panel. I'm thinking about an add sign, but it might not pop in pop in the eye enough. So what if I use this one? Let's see. So I'm just gonna only use a very small part of the prop. It has to be red. You can see the angle is not good. That doesn't matter, it's 270, that's good. Okay. So you only a very small part stays visible. Okay, I was gonna use a straight. Just see how this works out. As you see, it's already cutting into the space that I mentioned. I do this like I have another opening here, so if I place it, it's gonna have to be at least like that. I'm not sure if the thing will move if the prop is inside. As we see, the circumference of the prop is too big, so I just want probably gonna try the tube then. So it's much smaller in circumference. What I can do is just overlap the whole thing. That's a choice I have to make now. If I place a straight panel, I can just place it in this angle and let the thing pop out. So if you hit the plate, you hit the thing and the thing cracks in, and you can just continue. If I place the tube part like this, I guess I can do it too, but yeah, it will still work. The holes in the tube may bring down the visibility, so the solid color is much more visible than the little perforated parts. Let's just gonna see how it looks. Because your brain actually sees things before you see it yourself, so that's very important to keep that and notice. See, I already saw it right when I came out of this turn. So right here, boom, there it pops up, right? If it was the perforated part, you would see less of it because more darkness comes through the holes of the perforation. So I like the visibility, it's pretty open now. This thing still works. I'll bring the piece back, so if I go out, this thing is set to its position again. Can retry it. This open end is not so bad. If I have a prop, I'll probably place a destructible prop like. One more time just to go outside again. So this nice block here. So you come here. The checkpoint is going to be visible right there that you have to take the apex. This hole is not that important. Just place a ammunition sign or something. So what that means is that if If I see the props, I still have 16 left. Dynamic props, I have 20 left. So dynamic props is always placed at the last moment to fill in the gaps or the blanks. Take the pick outside there. Maybe I would have wanted a little bit more inside. So that see the angles of the thing. Maybe rotate it a bit more. Just to show the counter option, that would have been possible too. There's a good flashy red sign. Like this. That's a dark red. That's a light red, so. See what that is. So what's important now that I get the angle here, so it's probably too stump of an angle. So now it sticks out still. But if your car hits the sign, you can just drive on normally. Just placed it. That was good. Oh, what I didn't pay attention to was how the sign popped up. Gonna do that now. See, because it's still bright red, it pops out right. Especially the white text. So the contrast between the white Fukaru text and the red of the sign just makes it pop out more. If it would have been the darker red Vapid sign, it would have been not so poppy. Good. Left-hander. Need a good prop here that blocks off this pole and those poles. So what my mind is going through the props to get to decide which one we're gonna use here. again the flashy part. Bring it low so it's visible. No knot, so the knot has to turn away. Now the next knot is here. Bring it at 90. So it's even important that take a look at the bars here, because they all got a degree to looks like this point is right at the apex. So I'm looking at the car position here, and the moment he has to turn in, which gives you this angle. So you get a little V-shaped angle here to cut it in, which means that this line, this little part of the tube here, is where it's actually gonna hit, if it's gonna hit it. So you want that to be parallel to the triangle here, which is good. A little bit lower. Visibility is good. So you turn in here. This is the angle I'm at. See, scratch off. I would put some tour racetracks here, but gotta be economical now. So go to the big ramp for the outside. Small big ramp. It doesn't have to link up right here, so because that will just narrow your whole turn. You just want to make it look wider, even if it's not. Lock position, check rotation. This has gotta be 170, 270. Good. It's always very important to switch between these menus to just at your own pace and make sure your head follows what you're gonna do. Don't try to be cool, just be right. It's pretty simple. So just what important is here, that is the end of the ramp here, that this part is parallel to the curb here, because it's a straight curb here, which means I'm gonna place a straight panel. So it's gonna have to be rotated like this. So now I got somewhat parallel, so I can just place the straight panel behind the ramp so nobody gets that. So I got a good setup here. I can make it wider, then it's gonna come maybe a little bit like that. This opening gives you a lot of breathing, even if it's not used. Get like the intention that it's used for track commissioners' cars or something, ambulances. The height looks pretty good, maybe a little bit lower. It disappears. Oh, for the outside, like one block like it is now, if I see the block ends right there. So I keep it on one block, which is pretty high. If you half a block is very nice. You can, if a spectator is standing next to it, you need half a block, because if you put more on, he will not see. But because this is the outside barrier, you want it to be visible, so have a little height. So now you need a big panel here. Probably gonna opt for this one. It's not getting far enough there. So my options are take the big block, just sink the rest of it over here, or go to the track piece and take one of those. See what this does. This block is smoother if you hit it, so won't get caught on it so fast. Try to get it somewhat right. See, the angle is not good yet. Just gonna adjust that manually though. Lock position, check rotation. So 270 is 90 degrees. That's good. Can I change that one? Yes. Now sink it. Sink it, sink it. So here, this apex, I gotta watch out for that pole. Maybe place a ramp here. So this has to be Gotta watch out for that sign too. So what I need to think about now is if I place, which prop I place here in the apex, and how it's gonna line up. So probably a bit further and inward here. Like that's what I'm looking for. I see what it does in the back. I don't like that here. So we need more rotation like that. You see, either I lose height here or I lose height there. And I don't like the things popping out here. I'm just gonna opt for the racetrack. Could use the wall here. See the wall with the fences on. I don't like the tires popping out everywhere, but if I put that here, the wall is long enough. It's too long. It's gonna pop out here. Don't want that. That's too short. Keep it straight. Shit. My roll axle is gone. Angle is turned inwards at the top a little bit. I'm gonna see if the angle, the inward angle is gonna be a problem. That's good. Car doesn't get stuck, because if you angle it a little bit too much, it will get cars in trouble. Now the thing that sticks out is not so long, yeah. So it's good the inside is less important here, because you're never gonna reach here. What is gonna happen is that you're gonna go outside here, back to outside there, to take the curve here. So I might need a wall here. What's the status on the props? 13, that's not a lot. Still gotta do this part. So I need a wall here. That's pretty easy. I think a 30 will do. Try to place it. Needs more roll. So I haven't selected the road override yet. So I can go back with these rotations to fine tune it a bit. I need more rotation there. So this is the exit. Here it starts to count. Find the best position, yes. Looks pretty straight. Position is locked. Just world now. Covers that up very nicely. Again, that's outside, can be a little bit higher. Not too high. Want spectators to be able to see here. Looks good. Yeah. So again, this is less important on the inside here, because the drivers are gonna go to the outside here, because they see the checkpoint that they have to turn left. So they're gonna go outside here to cut it in at the apex. So here we need another prop. Place that one. As you see, we get a little curve going on again. A curve there in the end. So this is too much. 15. See where I want to attach it to. Do I want to attach it to this point here? Or doesn't it really matter? Or I want to just cover up that pole? Thinking about it. That looks nice. See if we can get more parallel. May even sink down here. So this is the apex. Probably gonna put a ramp here upside down. So this pole is no problem, this pole is no problem. People see by the grass it's the outside. So just the focus point is these signs here. A little bit lower. Now I can use this rotation to fine tune it. So if I make sure that there's a gap, I left to right here. It's not lining up, so it's more inwards. That means the gap won't be a problem. So people coming from here are never ever gonna hit that sticking out part here because of this wall. They're gonna hit this wall, bounce off, and then just roll off the wall here. So it's very important that I'm not doing this, because if I do this, they are lined up, but they're not connecting, so that it's a gap. People that knock onto that part are gonna be stuck. Don't want it to be too inward here. I think I'm gonna rotate it a bit more. So now I will create more space here. So I have to move it upwards to the outside again, which means that this space here is gonna get bigger. Like that. I can do more. So the maximum is here, right there at the pole of that sign. This gap becomes shorter too, which is good. It doesn't need to be connected again. So you the open space for the track marshals and shit. Looks good. Did want to have that pole though. I can rotate it more. It's lining up here. I think the actual position is not bad. To the ramps. So you get ramps that are smooth at the inside. These are the ones with the ribbons at the back. See the ribbons? Can't use that as a inside prop. So I use these, which are smooth. Now we can use the big one. Angle it a bit. So if I adjust it in this angle, I'm watching the lines on the thing. So the lines on the thing, as you see the white bar here, the white bar is going straight under the thing, has to be in the middle of the triangle of the green grass part here. That way you know that you're in the middle of the apex. And it just divides your whole propping of this part of the turn it divides it right in two, so the shape of this thing will actually give the people that come here. Your brain knows the scale of the ramp, so they see the ramp, if they see this point, they will actually know where this point is. And that's trickery of sacred geometry and all that. So if your mind sees that, it knows that the ramp is perfectly symmetric. So it knows at the angle of the curve of the ramp where actually this street is going to be and what the angle of this corner actually is. And that's deep, deep, deep physics of track building and prop use. So we're gonna try to get this angle here. I'm gonna use the manual for a bit. Oh no, that's a crooked angle. Just do it like that, it's easier. Because now I have the straight angle in this ramp, and otherwise it would have been a 45-degree angle, which is harder to adjust. Just see the line here is dividing the grass part, but you gotta actually look at the curb part, so it's a little bit off. And this is actually honey. What you get here is your apex prop is already a boundary here. So it's probably gonna make it red. Oops. I like the fences coming out, which gives us the extra barrier. Sign. It's not good. Oh, I can't cover it up. It's a very breakable sign, so it's not the worst if it stays there. Because people, you don't want to cut here. Because there's a right hairpin coming, so if you come out here, you want to go left as soon as possible to keep speed, to get the hairpin as wide as possible. What I do want is that maybe the line where it overrides the ground here, that it leads to the sign. So if I rotate it more, the division is gone now, so the line is back. Oh, it still looks pretty good. But what I'm doing is bringing up the fences, the little fences here, which gives it extra visual. So now sink it a bit more even. Bring it to the sign like there. See how it lines up. A little bit more rotation. So this point is gone like that. It's purely visual. So because the prop turned a bit and it lines up with the sign, you're gonna notice it as you go take the turn. You immediately see the line that points out here, so you know that you're gonna want to be as possible from this line. So if I left the prop turned more here, the judgment of coming in this position and seeing the line straight would give you the impression that if you're here, that it's still good. So this prop is actually a pointer and a barrier and an apex at the same time, so it's 3 functions. Looks good. Can I place it even lower? Uh, all about visibility. What's it doing here? It's blocking off the light a bit. Boom. Outside prop. Maybe too big. So I'm thinking about what prop is gonna come here. Come from here. Go left. So there's gonna be a straight panel here on the right side, lining up with the tree. So could place it a little bit more outward, meaning the trees are bounded off. So if the ramp comes here, there's no problem. I have to cover the light there, that one. No, the other one, that one. That's the focus. And I don't want it to be too narrow in the turn. So I'm just checking the size of the thing. I'm gonna place this right here so I have the position. I'm gonna check out what the other ramps do. See, it's a smaller angled piece which gives you more width. If I place it outside here, you get a lot more space in the actual turn here. It's not always functional because mostly you don't use the outside of the turn, but it gives you more breath, more breathing room. It just eases the mind of the driver more. So it looks a bit off an angle. See, if I lock it in position again, I can check it from both sides. So again, here there will be a straight panel. I can lock it up to that one. And here the exit of the actual turning prop here points out. So you follow that line, points right in front of the actual pole here, which makes it easy to block that off with another prop. I could have gone with the wide ramp and block it off with the ramp. Then this part would have been smaller. We'll We'll see what it does. I can still change it. 9 props left. Apex. So what generally, oh shit. What generally actually happened is that the first parts I made were actually very detailed and were actually the focus point of the whole race. And the fewer props you use in the other parts, the less detailed it is. But you have like a main focus part of a track and like inside the less focused part of the track, which is most tracks in the world have that, you know. You always have a start line where there's a big podium and a big stadium, and you always have turns that are not neglected but less focused upon. What's 92? Because the drivers also get under more pressure if they're under the crowd, of course, and then there are sections where it's calmer. Can check out the knots. They're not in the middle of the apex here. So it's no coincidence that Rockstar made the tubes and that the actual what you call the stroll here. It's the same angle, the same as the actual curves. So it's all about the design. It's pretty nice. I can just line it up with the curve exactly. Sink it a bit. There's a nod. Try to get it away. Still good? Okay. Go for the panel now. Probably gonna be a big one. You see? Roll it. Roll. Roll it. So this is the street where we're gonna exit. So I don't want to block that off. So I'm looking at the right apex. Just gonna change the color because it's so flashy. I'm looking at the left ramp where it attaches here. Just to get somewhat in a good position. Get a parallel. See, follow the angle of the street, which is going a bit left. Pretty good. Lock position, immediately bring it down. So you can see how it, as you see it sinks and now it's already not 90 degrees. So if I check rotation, Gotta be 270 here if it goes back outside. 279, now it's 90 degrees. Lining up to the ramp. It's pretty good. Probably want it to go left a bit more because this thing is sticking out. Here's gonna come around prop. It's gotta blow. Oh, it sunk away here. So the rotation is locked. Shit. That doesn't matter. I can do it with this axle. That's good. Try to let it stick out somewhat the same at almost possible areas. Lock down. I can lift it up, line it up here, but I want it more outside. See what the maximum is. So check out the poles, which is the closest pole. Didn't hit one yet. There's one. The rest is covered. It's pretty good. So I do want these signs to pop up. Because I don't want it just to stick in like that. It's just not nice. So then I can lower it lower than the ramp. Just like that. Doesn't matter. It's just nicer if the sign sticks out here. Even if it's not functional. So now I see how low I can go, because this wall is low. Let's get a bit higher. That's pretty good. Still got the sign. I do want to move it over to the left a bit more. I can get a bit higher. That's it. I want that little thing to pop up the curb. Gonna go to low. Let's change the world. It's gonna be a 45-degree angle, left, right, or you have to be lucky that it's straight on. So if I go world local, if I go, it's gonna go left, right, or up and down like that. So it keeps the angles of the axle. So this is down, one, just bring it onto the curb. So this is a good one. Boom. Of course, quick save. I'm lost. Oh, there we are. So now for a prop that connects that wall to that. Again, this part of the wall is not important. Ooh, not important. Because you take the apex and you go outside again. What important is that it blocks off the road here, visually. And then it just links up to that part, so that's good. Can delete the ramp. So I'm thinking to use the landing panels, which have different. So I gotta look up that word. I just keep forgetting the English word for the beam. This might work. So you see it goes down a bit, so I have to rotate it a bit upwards. Try to be as parallel to the street as possible, so if I bring it up more, it goes up everywhere the same. See here. Strahl. Diameter, of course. Diameter is not the same. Radius, that radius, not diameter. Okay. Position. World. Now, I was gonna block off the post here, but what this prop does is it brings the curve here. See, the actual curve is more inward and brings the curves more outward. More inward actually. So your apex point moves up from right here next to the pole to actually this point here. This one, this corner. So that means if your car is here, if the driver is here, his eye, his brain will notice this point because this points to the apex. It will also see the pole and know it can cut here a little bit. Might allow that at own risk. If they're on the line of the pole, they're gonna hit the wall too. I just like it how it goes into the store too. Gonna change the color. So get it exactly right there. Exactly right there. Maybe bring it up a bit so it looks like a real curve. Not too high. Boom. I placed one. Probably. If I do it in the colors of the store, maybe. Isn't it red and green and yellow? Green and brown. But yellow and brown. It's not in there. Disturb back too much. Maybe yellow. Nah. Wholly no. He wants the track. I can save it and go online and test it. I don't have to test it. Oh, I know it's good. I do want it to be propped with the walls, so if you test it, you can test the walls too. He's counting down. So what do we need? Outside part. Maybe the big one. Big one gives a bigger radius, but I don't know. Let's see what it does. Small one's better. Layout of the track I chose for the widest parts of town. Because if you get a split up like this with the grass part, you need to go one left or right. Can't have it in the middle, that's ridiculous. So you see you got a big white lane here, big white lane here. So I'm gonna use I have to place another wall here. This lines up. You can see the end of the ramp lines up with the white line. Take a little bit more. Like that. Now I just have to move it inwards so it lines up with the curb here, so I can place another panel here. I think here an emanation sign is gonna be placed between the tree and the pole. It's a free add prop, which gives the angle, and drivers have to go outside here to cut into the next one, so the trees here don't have to be blocked off. So I can sink it a little bit more. Probably at just one ball. That's good. Back to the panels. See how far we get. Probably gonna rotate this one. This is wider. Yes. That side's a little bit wider. Somewhat is good. Lock it. Sink it. Kinda busy, Mr. 2. No idea who he is. Boom. As you see, it's not parallel to the street yet. Can I do that with jaw? A little bit more. It's good. A little bit back. Nope. Back to position. So now it's coincidentally that the world is right on the axle of forward and back. It's coincidence. It has to be behind the first prop. So that looks good. Again, the emanation prop is gonna show up here. Can actually move it up left more. See what that does. Where is it? So that way it ends up to that border of the of the curb, which gives you more visibility for the emanation sign that I'm gonna place there. That looks good. Maybe up a little bit. It's good. Just so I don't forget. Hope it's not too long. Not ideal. It's a bit too wide. Sucks. Looks good. And functional. Here on the outside, we got left 4 props. Oops, change the color there. You can drive it, I guess. Same here, mate. More rotation here. So I can... The barrier here on the outside is running very far. Which gives me the option to even place the prop here. Which makes it a very breathable turn. I do want that pole to be excluded. Too much. Too big. See what the other ones do. It's a bit too small. Just has a nice look to it, nice radius. I need a little wall here. Probably gonna be a banded stone track. 5 degrees. Oh, I know it's gonna sink into the street here because it's 90 degrees. Which is not bad at the inside here, so people are never gonna get here. So I'm just focusing on this part. So I can even move it further up. So I got not so much sticking out there. Just that it lines up to the ramp nicely. Rotate it. So I want 270. And that's the angle towards the street, so I want that to be 90 degrees. It's gonna stick up a little bit more, that's not bad. That's good. Can move it even closer to the balls. Bit more rotation here. Looking at that point here. It's good. Can do the colorizing later, like pick some colors. Maybe it's just staying in white though. So I think I'm pretty much around. This is open, it's not so bad. See how it looks if I place it somewhere. Can't place it. Stupid rockstar. Something like that. Actually got everything. Need an outside wall here. And here in the prop. 2 props left. That may work. I don't like the natural staircase being interrupted there. I'll move it up. That needs more rotation. I'll do that slowly. getting off here will be a problem. I'm gonna have to later check some if I can erase some props. It looks like I'm round. So just to do a Wolino favor, we're gonna test it. Still have to put the check marks on. So the start's probably gonna be here. Have to move that trigger point. No, Lino, no bet. Too much hassle in the organizing. And a lot of props if you want to make a nice bet. Good line. Of course you want the middle, especially on the outside. Dangerous. Have to check that. And this is not the track to do that. Will I place one here? Probably not necessary. Can remove that later. That's a dangerous rail here. Gotta put some dynamic props there. Probably don't need a checkpoint here. Less is better. Just I don't forget. it's tunnel. Fucked up. Restricted. That will do it. Now, so I'm gonna need one here, and one probably over here. You don't want to put them too close to each other, because then it will get epileptic just driving through them. Blum blum blum. So here's gonna come one. So I want the first one to be as far back as possible. Now to avoid having two checkpoints like this next to each other, which is, it just blurs your view. It's not nice. Just gonna place the first one as far from the apex as possible without being able to miss it. So now if I drive here where the red car is, I will still get it. And if I have the normal racing line, I will always get it, because you just have to come from outside and you will cut into it and you always hit it. And it's a little bit back. Leaves the open space here. What I'm gonna do is, I can't do it now because it will not place the second checkpoint. You have to place one here first. So now I can place the second one. I don't know, it glitches out otherwise. So what I'm gonna do is not place it here, but place it here, which you will only see one yellow blur, and you won't be able to miss the second one, or you really have to try to scratch the wall here. I won't even place it more to the right, so keep it in one line as much as possible. So now I can adjust this one, point the cars in the right direction. Now I don't want to place it here in the apex, because that will blur your view of the apex. I want it to be outside as much as possible. What I'm also doing is pulling it back here as much as possible, because if you pull it back, the angle of this point will be more, it will show more angle. It's just important for the driver, because the checkpoint directs the angle as much as the curbs do. So priority is the checkpoint you see and the angle of the arrow. And then you see the primary prop, so it's outside, which is also pointing backwards. And then it's the secondary prop, which is actually the curbs and the apex, which gives you the actual dimension of the turn. So I might even move this one a little bit. Right there. So now, if I take it regularly, I obviously have the checkpoint. If I cut it a little bit, I still have it. Because what the checkpoint does is, if your car goes right, it takes a right here, your car is moving, the g-force of the car is moving outwards, which means it will hit the checkpoint. If your turn goes left that way, and you hit the same point, the same distance, but your car g-force is going outwards that way, you won't get the checkpoint. That's how the checkpoints work. So if you move outward towards a checkpoint, even if your car is not there, it will get the checkpoint. So that's how far you can place the checkpoints from the apex, which should be tested always though. So the next one I'm gonna place as far as possible. Not too far though, because this one still has to show an angle. Actually, it should be here to show the correct angle. I'm just placing it here because your eye, no, not really seeing it. You'll see the white prop here, which I may change color. This one has to change too, or I'll have to do everything in red, blue, and light blue. Anyway, I can pull it a bit. I can pull it a bit back. So what the intention is that you can't miss it, of course. So you can't miss it on the right. Still get it. And you have to get up this to miss it here. But people are gonna drive up it, so if they miss the turn, they're gonna drive up here. So you want them to be able to catch it without winning time, but not to miss it terribly. So I can just a little bit forward. So you hit here, you hit the brakes, you can still cut in and get it. A little bit further here. What it does, if I place it more outside, is it gives you a clear view of this line of the inside and the prop inside of the apex. So if you place a checkpoint on the prop, your eye is focusing on two different things, which have different angles and shit. So just messes up your brain. Here, I can choose to place it here or here. If I place it here, I need two checkpoints. If I place it here, it's behind the wall. That's not good, so I'm gonna place it probably here. Oh, I still didn't block off the wall. Because that is a deadly corner. It's gonna be my last prop. Can I make this? Can probably make it at an angle which is nicer. Almost at a 3-hour mark. Oh shit. I want the highest the highest point of the tube. I want it to be pretty high so you don't hit the wall. It can overlap a bit there. Rotate it a bit more. to local, then I can bring it more in, so it hits the ground here. People will cut over this part. I'm probably gonna have to change that turn here. Pick another part. Just drop that. So here, I want to use only one checkpoint, placing it as much outside as possible, so the apex is clear, can even go wider. Now the car angle is not ideal, as you see, but the arrow of the checkpoint will change if I place the next one, which is gonna be outside here, which is only one. This is good. You can scratch the inside apex, still get it, because your car is going left, outside hitting the checkpoint. That looks good. Here I'm probably gonna have to use two. So I told you about the function of the red piece and the pole. So with the checkpoint I'm gonna accentuate where the apex should be hit. So if people wanna aim right next to the pole, their car is totally on the apex prop, the car in red, which is a track violation. So he will miss the checkpoint if he's totally up. If his wheels touch the ground, he will get it. That's the intention. So checking visibility there. Maybe a little bit more back. Still need a second one though. Next one will be single. Probably right in the apex itself. Leaving good visibility inside. Can't miss it. Secondary here now. Right behind it. And you see it lines up. You just see one checkpoint. Shit. I'm missing a prop here too. Try to keep it on one checkpoint. Can't miss it here. Gotta give some room here so they can still cut it. Don't want to hit the sign, so it's better if you bring it back a bit more. I'm actually focusing on this arrow point here, so I can still cut it. It's good. Next one here. Probably 2. Can I miss it if I drive straight here? Maybe. Place it uphill a bit, it will show that it's uphill and it's a flat part on top. Maybe a bit back. Good, secondary coming behind it. Here's gonna be a 2. Double checkpoint 2. Just right behind the apex a bit. Place the secondary here, just behind it. Long straight. Can I keep it on 1? The barrier also contains, so that's the limit of your checkpoint. I'm focusing here on the apex, still missable. That should be good. Secondary. Good. Again, so as wide as possible to the outside. More. Look at that angle. I want to hit that. And look at that angle. If you just scratch the wall, go straight, still get it. It's good. Checkpoints are very important, especially for drivers that drive the track the first time. Drivers that done the track like 100 times, they won't even see the checkpoints anymore during a race. Probably 1 here. That's too far. Checking visibility. Yes, yes. Did my sound cut out? That sucks. I don't know if it broadcasts that my sound is on silent. So it's just checking visibility here. I was saying to always place it as much as outside as possible so the inside apex stays clear and not blurred by a yellow dot. So if people cut it here, they'll still get it. And because the prop is so low, I'm allowing a good cut, 4-wheel cut. But the higher you go, the worse it will get. The worse you will crash. So now we come to a chicane part here. That's just the left-hand direction. So just put a good outside here. This prop is even unnoticeable. Can cut here. The red car. Will it still get it? Yes, you have to get outside a lot here. Probably you need one more here. This is the apex. Place it a little. Want the inside to be visible. Can even get more. We'll still get it. Ideal line is here. Cut it over here on the curb here. Then go back in. Next apex, easy. It's right here. Car's disappearing, that's not good. Because the cars won't spawn on top then. Gotta be careful with that. Also, in the camber turn here, if you come low, you're gonna miss the checkpoint pretty quick, so the G-force thing doesn't really work anymore because the lower you go on the checkpoint, the easier it is to miss. I think it's like a little ball kind of thing at the bottom. So I'm allowing a big cut here. The bigger your cut is, the higher the chance of spinning out. That's why it's nice and evened out here. If I cut right here, they might miss it. Could be a track violation. Get a bit more. That's good. So the arrow points straight. Cars are just spawning like this. The arrow would point to the next checkpoint, so that will be great. Almost round now. As much outside as possible. Even more. That's good. Could place one here, but just see if it's just because of the inside here is so tricky. Just gonna place one here. Should be good. 21. Do it. Traffic is on. Funny! The hour mark, but I might as well explain here. I'm gonna just go through the vehicle classes. Because if you test it, the vehicle classes, you have to again. So what I'll do is just keep the cars in there. Don't like those. No convertibles. Just bliss type. Sedans, I'm probably gonna go the armored, no rides, which everyone will choose the shafter probably. If ever played on a custom, that is. As you can do something funny. I'll just keep it on race. Which ones? Coupes are pretty good, all of them. So keep the Windsor, maybe I'll lose it now. Muscles, I'm gonna only allow the Dominator. Oh, only the race cars. Any Dukes of Hazzard ruining shit for people. And randoms. Classics, gonna on the fast ones. Not really a race car. Skid. Into the Mamba. Monroe. Sports. Sure. Comet. Links, okay. 7 our best, yeah, Leah. Of course, they're in the Massacre. Felser, good. Supercars, good thing. Bikes, we're gonna go for 2 bodies. If you pick two vehicles, your custom option in itself, if you start it, is solo. If you only place 1 body, the customs off or on option won't be there. So everybody with to use the bike that they got the first alphabetical in the list, and other people that don't have a bike, they get the body. When I'm doing 2 bodies, then you some option you can switch the customs off, then everybody has the same body. It's just honest. Because if you play customs, there will be a lot of Shotaros and shit. Okay. Off-road, you can go for something. Quads too big. Can they fit under the track? Under the tunnels? Yes, there's nothing. There's nothing, no start bit where they can get stuck. Well, let's do dunes. Dune and the dune loader, so you can switch customs off, then everybody has the dune. Or the dune loader. Pick the dune loader, you're stupid. It's really slow. Util, of course, also funny. York Fieldmaster's too big of a track. So we'll go with Caddy and Lawnmower being the Joko, the slowest. So everybody has Caddy. Cool, so I'll leave that open. Let's leave the race bikes on. Good. Take a quick pick. Traffic, of course. Pedestrians, always funny. No ketchup. RPS. Lab, good. No view. That. For everything on car. Traffic. Oh, change one, so you only have 2 lap. Let's go. So in the test it's important to drive your track like a noob. I'm not doing that, I'm doing the track as if I know it already. Car went through the crowd there, that was awesome. So what I did when I was testing all the turns is driving like a noob, and then I can see if the turn will work or not, and where the props should be placed. So what I will do is test it online with noobs, and then you can see how a real noob does and where the problems are. Because that's where noobs are good for. Good ball. Ooh, that's a little traffic light where the tune can get stuck. Very smooth. Lovely. Important to focus on the second checkpoint because you don't want to miss it. It's easy to do the track again at the same race lines and then you miss a secondary checkpoint. Because it's not really important. Because I know the secondary will work. Just don't want to do them twice. Like that. So it's nice to cut that corner on the curb. See, the sign is really almost untouchable because you have to get on the race line. Little extra curve there, nice. Wall showing up just in time. Oh, of course I missed a check. That's what I meant with the secondary checkpoint. Just enjoying the race line so much that I completely forgot that they're testing the other checkpoints. Can't wait to put the custom car on. Done. Diddly do. So what I'm gonna do now is just save it. I did every requirements for it able to be published because the publish is available. So the name is still not yet. Search tag not set yet. Can all that back in. Just gonna now. So it will show up in my list. I can just test it online. Nobody else will be able to pull the track up. It's not on Social Club. It's not published. Just publish it later. Test it online. That was that. Part 4 and end of the create your own racetrack. I'll stop the broadcast and start it again if we test it on. Cheerios, thanks for watching.